Hello, welcome to Field Home Farm Sessions on January 28th of 2025, episode 157. Want to talk about, I guess, the most current was Snowmobile Day yesterday. I said giving advice to my listeners about kids and kids growing up, and then some more rink comments. Going to be a bit of an earmuff episode for the kids, so just check the chicks. Chicks are doing good. My chick rep asked me how the chicks doing. 0.5% in my old barn on day 12 and 1.2% mortality in the new barn on day 12. It's amazing how you build a new barn. You do all these new gadgets, new computers, best ventilation system. Oh, everything's supposed to be perfect, and the old barn supersedes it. So it's I think it's salesmen talking. They don't make money on old equipment and old things. So old stuff do just as good. And when you're over 50 like myself, old stuff does just as good. Speaking of that, I am fucking sore today. Shoulders, hips, back a bit, thighs a bit, especially. Not because I was on my knees, but because I had snowmobile day with Mr. SB Construction. Oh, he's not Italian, but I gotta give him. Oh, apparently now he knows that I have a podcast, so we'll have to get into that. I don't know why I'm a bit of a shy guy. I don't want to promote it too much. And somebody says you have a podcast, I kind of get red in the face and embarrassed. But I should be proud because I have a few loyal listeners that love my show, and I thank you for that. So I should be proud of my show. So maybe it makes who I am. So snowmobile day. So on a snowmobile day, you cannot go snowmobile by yourself. Well, it's kind of boring if you do. So I'll give you an example. So I'll put my snowmobile on my trailer. I'll drive to wherever I'm gonna go. I'll take my snowmobile out of the thing, get all dressed up, and drive. You could get lost. You could get in an accident. So it's always good to have someone with you, whether it's a friend or just a family member, accomplice, whatever, somebody go with you because that's what you got to do. And the other guy might have a map too, which is very handy because I'm too cheap. I'm so cheap I don't get to the map. So he's got the map on his phone. The SB Construction. Oh, and so we started out yesterday morning, and Hubie Jen will say, "Why did you go today?" It was a storm day, but he couldn't go. I think he was either yesterday or today, and he said yesterday would have worked better. So, and the rest of the week sucked. And Friday's my big meeting. Got to call some people, so it ended up being Monday no matter what, if the weather was shit or not. So we started in Arthur, Ontario, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours from Toronto. Everything's an hour and a half, 2 hours from Toronto. And if you want to get in the country, trails are awesome. A little windy, so the snow is on the trails a bit, but you have to have snow on a trail to make it good, and it was good. So we started in Arthur, went to Baden, Ontario, and EJ's restaurant, which is very good. Now, along the trail, some of these trails have what they call warm-up shacks. So you go in the warm-up shack, and there's beer in there, and sometimes there's food, and you put wood in the furnace or fire, and it's a great time, great social. Then a couple other guys came in the shack, and we were talking and stuff like that. So it's a great social aspect of it. Went to Baden, came back, had another pop in the shack, and I was going to say, too, so you go to Baden, Ontario. I got to look. I think it's near Stratford. I don't know. You get your snowmobile. It's not like a regular road. You're on these trails, and you end up different places. So food is expensive. Beer is expensive. I get it to a point. Restaurants have to make money, but you're in kind of the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and they're still charging a lot of money. Beer is $8. I get it. They got to make money, but the quality of the food is just, it's not as good as it should be. Let's put it that way. Shop at Costco. Get your whole foods, whole chicken, whole beef. Stuff like that. So, and then we ended our day at EV and Hubie Jen's. It was awesome. I was texting her because she's a DCR, so we talk now and then, and we'll be at a meeting. We'll talk. We'll online meeting, and I'll text her. So I said, "Are you going to be around?" She said, "We're going to be around." So we pulled in there. I think it was about 3:30, somewhere around there. I said 3:30-ish, which means whatever. So we showed up. And her husband's in the shed, and I never knew they had a fucking workshop that you could do like a massive business out of. But this wood shop that is insane. Like I never got the full tour, but it looks like they have every piece of woodworking equipment you could think of, and just an amazing shop. He was building a bar because their daughter is getting married in this summer, so he's building like a bar, and it just looks it looks insane. I said, "Can you do one for me too?" But no, he's not going to do that. But a crazy talented person where he's doing wood, and I think Hubie Jen's talented too because she goes out and helps and does painting and everything else. And then they make the cornhole. Gonna get cornhole boards too. So had a few pops with them, and then Evie said, "You need another one?" I said, "No, we gotta get going. I don't want to snowmobile in the dark." But did we snowmobile in the dark? Yes, we fucking snowmobile in the dark. It was a shitty kind of a ride back, but luckily we made it. SB's phone didn't die, which was good. Made her back to Arthur, and the wind was fucking blowing. Leave Arthur, go across Highway 9. Anybody knows this area, Highway 9. Orangeville, Ontario was freaking insane. There was one part of the road, and we're driving, and I said to SB, I said, I can't even fucking see. And he couldn't see either. And luckily, it was only maybe 10 feet, 15 feet, something like that. But it was fucking insane. Made it home, touch wood. Oh, my trailer's secret. My trailer lights were on when we left, and then all of a sudden they shut off. So I had a can of oil. I don't know why I put it in the truck. I said to SB, let's pull in this school parking lot, and I'll squirt some oil. And he's like, oh, what will that do? So squirt oil in, and the trail lights worked. So he goes, oh, I've never seen that before. So good stuff. So thank you to Huey Jen. Thank you to EJ's. Thank you to, I don't know, they have, every trail has their own little organization of people who volunteers who look after the snowmobile trails. So any snowmobile trail in Ontario, all these little, they call them club trails, have people. So if you want to volunteer, you do the signs in the fall, set it all up. If there's different conditions, if the farmer, sometimes go talk to the farmer and see if he's okay with you using the land for the snowmobile trail. Just set up different signs and arrows and promotions, and I think it's the same as anything else, like Lions or anything else you're volunteering for. You're helping out, you're helping the community, and it's a good feeling. So I'm giggling away, but Emmett is not on, but Emmett had some more comparisons with my kids' earmuffs, any kids' earmuffs, rink comparisons to Amanda Pedage to my rink. So it's always hard, and it's better to use when it's hard. So, it gets messy when it's soft. Jesus Murphy, it's a big mess when it melts. It's not good when it doesn't get used, and it needs to be flooded and cared for once in a while. KJ, you're on. I was just giving my rink comparisons. I'm going a little rated R. I'll give them again for you, so you can text me a couple of them too. But my ice rink in the shed, I was comparing it to a man's, let's put it this way, wiener. Earmuffs, I said it's better to use it when it's hard. It gets messy when it's soft. It's a big mess when it's soft and it's warm. It's not good when it doesn't get used, and it needs to be flooded and cared for every once in a while. There you go, KJ, my rated R part of my podcast. Earmuffs off. So my friggin' buses are canceled again today because it was snowing last night, but I was out driving I had to go across the road. I got to fix my fucking mailbox, which is lovely. Anybody on a rural property, they don't deliver your mail to a group mailbox. You have your own mailbox into the road. And needless to say, the fucking snowplow hits it once in a while, rusts out, and then you are responsible because guess what? Your mail won't come if you do not fix your mailbox. So buses are canceled. Roads are okay. I don't know why they're not going to school, but they're not. And I was thinking that too about your kids, and you think, well, your kids are they're on their iPad or on this. It's as much our fault as theirs. We got to have time limits on it. I said, what can you do to make your kids succeed? And there's no fucking answer because there's no concrete answer because every kid is different. But you try to give your kids the tools to succeed. So we signed up my daughter that's hockey for a training thing. Now, I don't know what she's going to do in her later. You can't see into the future. I'm hoping she takes it a bit further, and you can hope for maybe a scholarship or something. But I said we give her the training to succeed. If we don't do that, maybe she'll just stay on her computer or iPad, do nothing. So we give her the tools to succeed, and they have to they have to train and they have to study and they have to do it, but you got to give them the tools to succeed. I said we nag them, we give them shit. I come in the house, I give them shit. I think that's all part of parenting. You want them to, you don't want them to, you don't want them to do nothing. I always wanted one of my kids to play the piano or be musical. Now my oldest daughter is playing the saxophone now in band or in which is awesome because I think music you can play when you are 80, whatever, 70, 80 years old. I said hockey not so much, other things not so much, but you can play musical instrument when you get older. KJ the skin flute. And, stop it! I can see you through my screen. Um, so I nagged them. I hope that they know I get pissed off at different things. I said when you're on watching YouTube or TikTok, you're not learning anything. So and then show them work ethic too. I hope to show them some work ethic that you're working hard. I'm out in the barn. I'm doing the cows. Get the 4-H calves. I do that. I'm doing the chickens. It's not the insaneless amount of work that it used to be. Like with cows, they can see the physical toll it takes on you. Now chickens is more managing. You're managing the computers. You're managing the feed lines. It's not as physically tolling, not as hard. So it's hard to teach them that when it's not as physical. But you give them the tools to succeed, and hopefully they succeed now. KJ, what is going on today? Text me. I don't know what you're up to. I think you gave me a oopsie daisy on the podcast. I don't know where Emmett is today, but maybe he's doing herd check and the old swags pounding the cows, getting them seeing who's in calf and whatnot. I got to get my cows looked after. They are out of hay, and it's always lovely starting your skid steer, starting a machine when it's minus 12. It was +2 -2 yesterday, and now it's minus 12. It's supposed to warm up. Southern Ontario, it's going to be good. It's snowing a bit. And did you know KJ? I don't know if you know Gordy Tomlinson. So this is what is it? What do they call that when you have a announcement? You're like breaking announcement. Gord Tomlinson is going to be working for Sure Game Feeds, selling chicken feed for Eastern and Central Ontario. So our guy Larry, Larry is retiring. Savajowick, I can't spell your name. He just came on the studio. So Larry Morrison is retiring. Gord Tomlinson's taking over. He's starting in May. And I don't know, they'll probably stop by and say hi and whatnot. So I don't know, KJ, if you know Gordy T. Everybody knows Gordy T. So on that note, sorry there, Savajigic. I'm leaving. And this is the end of the podcast for today. But thank you for listening. Thank you for coming on. If you want to listen, go back and listen.